Okay everyone, here is a review of my Mini T 2.0. So first off, bodies. I have 3 bodies. This was the original, my second one, and my third one. So this happened because when I originally installed this light kit, I wanted some space. But what I discovered when I got these bodies is that if you get a white body, this will actually act like a headlamp. And it just glows, and I'll put a picture of that. And look, bodies, these get beat up. I don't really jump my car super high. It's a lot of street bashing, a lot of high speed, like quick, fast driving on dirt. But yeah, they get beat up. I recommend you get some like body secure things like this. Saves you a lot of time of searching. So as you can see, I have a lot of upgrades on my Mini T 2.0. I originally thought I was gonna keep this thing stock, but I got some money into it. And it's easily a few $100s over a sticker, but this was over the course of several months, and these parts are just cheap. They're like 20 bucks each. Besides the motor and the servo, those are probably the single most expensive single units. So you may have noticed that I am running only one front body post, and that's because I've just had these things, like the top part of it snapped off, you know, like just cut, so then the body pin can't actually sit, it just keeps going through, right? It's like completely open. So I just run one at a time, because to get these you have to actually get the whole shock tower set, which is 8 bucks. I know it's not a lot, but it's annoying. And so I did all these front upgrades, right? Aluminum bulkhead, aluminum camber block, aluminum pivot block, because my friend, he crashed his car for like first day, and everything just shattered. I'll put a picture, but yeah, so I have these RPM A-arms, right? Now, they're a little tight. So what happens is that, if you can see, when you do this, right, the suspension has to move, right? But if they're too tight, it doesn't move. So it'll end up just like being stuck like that. So what you have to do is, I just dremeled it a little bit, just very slightly. You see, it's still like really snug, but it can move now. So yeah. So what I did, Castle Mamba 5300 allows me to run my 3S packs. These fit in there perfectly. And I also just run Max Amps 2S packs. Yes, these are pricey, but the punch is really good. And it just suits a motor like this. You'll notice it over like the stock packs. They're just like a little sluggish. This is the original motor. I had the brushless one. Nothing wrong with it. It's just that after you run like multiple packs back to back, you just feel that it's just lazy. And so I just wanted this one, which is a 4-pole motor. And it has double the torque. So now everything on here has been upgraded in terms of preventative breakages. I've never had a breakage happen besides the stock servo breaking, and also a Savox servo breaking. The Savox servo broke because I originally had the 257 MG. This is the 255. The 257 is a direct fit. The 255 is a slightly longer fit. That's why you have to Dremel or shave the bottom of the chassis a little bit just to make it fit. It's good now to get the right geometry. See, it's flush. And as you can see, I had to Dremel it a little bit just to get it to fit, and it does eat up some battery space. So this one is fully Metal Gear. The 255 is fully Metal Gear. The 257 has a composite gear, and I believe that is the gear that's stripped. I have the front bulkheads from GPM. These are hit or miss. These ones happen in terms of quality control. These ones tended to be good. I have the hot racing shocks, light kit from Polo Creations, only running the front ones because these do take up battery, right? I have the Dumbo RC X6FG, which comes with a gyro. and you would control that on here. And the nice thing about this controller, it was 40 bucks, but it also comes with endpoint adjustments. And it's overall really good. Only thing I've had go wrong with it was just a spring inside broke. So it wouldn't center. So I just replaced it with a spring from a pen. Perfectly fine now. Tires go by fast. Oh wow, I can't believe it. But if you turn up the gyro a little bit, maybe to like 30 or 40%, it can mitigate like a lot of spinning. Only problem is just that if you turn up the gyro a lot, it'll start to fight you when you're just sliding, you know? Like sliding when you try to initiate a turn and stuff like that. So I tend to keep my gyro like 10 to 20% because I still like to have it like lively, you know, in terms of handling. I run 27 shock weight oil in the front and 20 in the rear. I'm running the Hot Racing medium springs. The stiff springs, or the stock ones, are just too bouncy, and the suspension doesn't really do its work. I have the aluminum Hot Racing stuff and Losi stuff in the front. Over there, the Losi stuff in the rear. I have the pivot blocks. I have I think the A-arm block in the front. I got RPM A-arms. Yeah, the 1RC horn and the Losi aluminum bell crank. A lot of people question about steering slop, but look, it's just, you won't really notice it unless you're racing. That's what I have to say. This car already handles like a dream. It's my best handling RC. I have the Eagle RC battery tray, and also, you know, Eagle Views aerial. I'll put a link. And also these mounts, 9 grams, 8 grams under the motor, and a 15-gram under battery weight. This really stops a lot of wheelies unless you have super high traction, and it makes the car like more level in the air, and it's just more planted overall. You have a lot more front end bite now, a lot more steering precision. Oh, also got the T-bone bumpers, the Hot Racing heatsink motor mount, and yeah, it's just fantastic. I've never had the stock servo brakes, get rid of that. The original radio really sucks, and that one, I just replaced it. And after that, you'll get a lot more steering precision in terms of responsiveness. And this one's really fast too. In terms of like things that have gone wrong that stopped me from like I had to go home, you know, like ended my day. Besides the servo, I once got a like piece of gravel that went into the bearing or into the motor. I think that was because like I was basically running on gravel for a long time, and then like eventually, probably after like what in total was probably like 50 packs on gravel, it just got in there and was making a low frequency noise and was just resistance. So I just had to open that up and clean it out and put more grease in there. And this thing handles like a dream, and I just love it. I don't really jump my thing like 15 feet into the air. I jump it. I like it more for its speed capabilities. Now there is a thing, if you want more tire options, like a big wheel mount, and I did that. It was 12mm hex sub adapters. The stocks are 8, and you can see like right here, like how it would be. Now, what I noticed is that, like, yeah, that's appealing. You'll get more ground clearance and you'll have more areas to drive this in. But it turns this, like, basically a racing mini chassis into a really sloppy monster truckish. If that's what you want, you can do it. It's just that I just love how darty and responsive this thing is. So I decided to keep it like this, and it works out great. So since we're talking about tires, if you run these big tires, right, it raises the overall height, but it also affects the geometry, because as you can see right now, so it's bottomed out, right? But the shocks, they still have some travel to go through, right? So that's good because you want your chassis to bottom out before your shocks do. But if you use big tires, then your shocks will bottom out before your chassis does. And what will happen is that load will travel throughout the rest of your body or the rest of your chassis like this, in a way that you don't want. If a chassis bottoms out, then it's spread out over here. But then you could end up like breaking parts over here. So you don't want that. And also, speaking of tires, I've also run these Gone Bananas tires, okay? These are the ones I run in the front. You can see there's not a lot of wear on them. But, well, actually, these are the tires I run in the front. They look like they're new, right? Except the ash right there. If you put them on the front, you'll have an unbelievable amount of front end bite. You'll think like, I never want to run the regular tires again. Now on the rear, you'll have a lot of traction, but these wear out so fast. You can see like just the how much smaller it is now. You see it? Like, now on the rear, I don't know if it's really worth it. I mean, if you're doing like street and you're maybe racing on the street with your friends, yeah, it can give you a huge edge, but I don't know. They wear out fast, but on the front, they're great. If you do go for the 12mm hex adapter upgrade, you don't have to go like this. There are other options like from like, I don't know, like more grip tires and stuff like that that just happen to have 12mm hex, but they're still like maybe this much bigger. It's not too bad, but I just love the way it is right now. The pin tires, the stock tires, like the spiky ones, those are the best off-road tires, really. I mean, they're soft, they're good. If you see, Losi has like another like a tread pattern that's more flush. Those wear out. That's what these used to be. They wear out fast. Yeah. Tried out the MIP ball diff, and this is actually my second one. My first one ended up barking after about 10 packs, and barking means that like the balls are getting shaved down, so they're not spherical. They're kind of like they're getting flat. Okay, and this is more now. When I got this thing set up right, yeah, I could really put the power down and just go. But it requires a lot of maintenance, and if you're a racer, yeah, totally worth it if you totally wanted that. But if you're just a basher like me, like you just take it to the backyard or your parks, you know, put on different tires and just run pack after pack after pack in the heat and stuff, it's just not really built for that. It's just not for bashing. There's a hot racing spool diff, which does not do to differentiate. It's like a lock differential. That's good for off-roading if you want to put the power down, but then you can't really drive it on road. I just drive the stock thing, the stock what's it called? The stock diff, which is it's not sealed, but as you can see, it's making a C shape in some of the outdrives. The other one is perfectly fine, if you can see it. But that one was because I had my slipper clutch set too tight, and that's because I didn't know how to set it correctly. I also have the CVDs, but I'm planning on putting these back in when these either snap or I have to or I replace both of these with fresh outdrives. And yeah, thanks for watching. So word on batteries, I have three of these packs and 2 of these and another smaller tattoo one, which is 450. I once had an 850, but that was like really thick. It barely fit in there with the battery guards and that, and I couldn't run any foams really, or even the weight, because it would pinch against this mount. So yeah, these are the way to go. You just get a bunch of these, like 15 bucks, ton of driving time. It's so much. I love it. And I ran all 7 packs back to back to back to back in 90-degree California heat. And this motor got to 160 degrees. Castle says the limit is 180, but I don't really fault it because it was 90-degree California heat in the middle of the day. So I'm getting a like aluminum fan 32,000 RPM. It's supposed to bring temps down by 50%. I mean, by 50 degrees, 50. And I'll put a video of that when I get in. I'll review that. But yeah, I mean, never had it totally like just go out on me. It's just a really great car. I just put it in the bag and I just go and I just drive, have fun, come back. This platform is fantastic because it's just a really good handling platform. You'll see in my videos it's just very darty and it's just I just love it, right? So, and it has a lot of potential. If you want to go monster truck, you can. If you want to do a street bash, you can. You want to go racing, you can. The whole, just, you know, be sure if you're doing a lot, this thing will tumble a lot and you could crush your bearings. I'll put a picture of that right now. And what will happen is that you'll end up getting like a ton of wheel play. Like you see right here, it's like solid, right? But when you have crushed bearings, there'll be like a ton, it will wobble like this. I'll put a video of that. But yeah, I just love this thing. This thing is fantastic, a ton of potential, great handling, and it's really reliable. I mean, I don't jump it super high, but I do have a lot of fun with it. I love it because it's more of like a fast basher. And yeah, thanks for watching. It's just a great chassis, great car, highly recommended. You can go cheap and just like run it pretty much stock, or you can be like me and just put a lot of money into it. This is right now my only currently modern RC. My old ones were really, I had a Savage XS. That was it. Stampede 4x4, Firestorm, Blitz. Those are great, but this is the best handling out of all. I love it. Thanks for watching.